What's good, everybody? It's your boy Edgar, the host of Snug Wrestling Podcast, here to tell you about our good friends from the Strong Coffee Company. If you're like me, you need that morning caffeine kick, but want to skip the crash, check out Strong Coffee Company. Their instant blends pack 15 grams of protein, 5 grams of MCTs, and 250 milligrams of adaptogens like ashwagandha and theanine. So you get that steady energy, that sharper focus, and you get no jitters. It's made with organic Arabica coffee and tastes incredible, whether you go for the bold black blend or the creamy lattes. And because you listen to us, Snug Wrestling, you get 20% off your order today. That's 20% off with promo code SNUG at checkout. It's the best deal that they offer anywhere. And yes, we do earn a small commission when you use that code, but it helps keep the show going. You get better coffee in return. So hit up strongcoffeecompany.com and fuel your mornings the smart way. What's going on, people? Welcome back to the Snug Wrestling Podcast. I am Edgar. I'm the host. Mr. Blood, Tommy Toxic, the entire Snug crew is back together officially, at least for the time being. And we're here to talk about what went down on the episode of Monday Night Raw after Survivor Series, 48 hours after the big PLE this past weekend that went down in San Diego. And it was reported that this Monday Night Raw was going to be epic, according to Triple H and some of the reports that were going around. And I had high hopes for this Monday Night Raw, man, because I had a lot of questions. I'm sure we all did. Who was the guy that was wearing the mask? What's next for Dom? Liv is back. What's going to happen with that? And, just the semifinals for the John Cena tournament. So there was a lot of stuff to look forward to for this Monday Night Raw. But was it worth the wait? Was it worth looking forward to? We're going to try to figure that one out. But how you guys doing? Happy Monday. What did you guys think overall of this Monday Night Raw?
Doing pretty good. I'm back on my cell phone currently, guys. My laptop is unavailable for the next 2 weeks, unfortunately. So I apologize for my audio. I know it's not the normal quality, but we are still here nonetheless. I thought Monday Night Raw, this is the conundrum, right? Because it was actually a good Raw. But the thing is, it was underwhelming because there were answers we were really hoping for. With the masked man that had interfered in the War Games men's match on Saturday at Survivor Series. And I was really hoping we were going to get a little bit more of that, and we definitely didn't. And as far as it's concerned, I'm of the vein where I'm kind of like, there's a lot of stuff tonight that I was like, they were so close to the mark on things, and kind of missed. And we're going to get into those because I got a couple of things to say when we get to these segments, particularly the Judgment Day segment stuck in my craw. But other than that, happy to be here. Underwhelming, not a bad Raw. That's the thing. It was a good Raw. It really was. But much like the end of Survivor Series, it felt like it fell short of the mark for some reason.
Toxic?
I'm doing good, man. Nothing really interesting. Just trying to get by, trying to get to Christmas break already, which
It's coming.
Honestly, the show itself was great. I have seen things of people saying, hey, this Raw was better than what Survivor Series was. And honestly, I slightly disagree with that one. But there's that. But the biggest thing that I must say, shout out to our boy Soto619. It is his birthday today, so happy birthday, bro. Thank you for everything you do, man.
His birthday's Wednesday, but yeah, happy early birthday.
He was celebrating it today on Raw, so.
Okay.
He said it was his birthday live stream, so.
Yeah, dude, for Monday Night Raw, for everything that went down at Survivor Series and everything that led to what we expected to see on this episode of Raw. It kind of fell short also for me. So let's get into it, man. Let's find out what was hit or miss when it comes to this episode of Raw. They started off with the fallout of the women's war games, right? This is Rhea Ripley, Io Sky came out to call out the women's tag team champions because since their team picked up the win at War Games, they felt like they deserve a title shot. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, the former champions, had something to say about that. They came out and interrupted before the Kabuki Warriors, the current women tag team champions, could come out and answer the challenge made by Rhea and Io. And they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. We haven't got our title shot yet. We've lost, we're the former champions. If anyone's going to get a title shot, it's us, Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. Well, hey, there's only one way to settle this. This is wrestling. You want a shot? We want a shot. Let's settle this in the ring, shall we? And this set up the main event for this episode of Raw. Women's tag team action. Thoughts on this, fellas?
Here's the thing. The overall opening segment, this is where the problems start, right? Where it's a good show, but then there's something missing. Even though I find the combination of Rhea and Io adorable, this was too babyface, in my opinion, where it almost felt cookie cutter from Rhea on this promo. Io was just kind of there to say like two different lines and point at herself. And then out comes my goat, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss. And, you're talking about there's four multi-time women's world champions standing in the same freaking ring. All four of them are multi-time, two or more women's world former champions. And they've all been, to some degree, incredibly successful this year. So you're thinking epic, epic, epic. Then they get into the barbs, right? They're trading barbs, which is good. I want a little animosity. War Games was all fun and games, but let's get back to brass tacks. We're here to win championships. And there was a line that Rhea said that actually kind of annoyed me when she was talking to Charlotte and Alexa, where she said, you guys couldn't even beat the Kabuki Warriors, so back of the line for you. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. They were screwed out of those championships. Rhea, you're a babyface. You know that they got screwed out of their titles. In fact, I remember you were a part of that segment, weren't you? Just like, because you're the one who came out to shout War Games. If I remember, that was the match that she came out and announced that. So I'm just like, that they got fucked over, that it was a dirty win. And now you're like, you couldn't even beat the Kabuki Warriors. They cheated. And you know it. So saying that as a babyface, I'm like, where's the continuity? Because it doesn't make sense. I digress. I was extremely excited going into the main event because, and by the way, I was excited going to the main event not because of the promo itself, because I thought the entire segment was decent, but lacking real energy for some reason, mostly from, oddly enough, Rhea and Io being too chummy, happy-go-lucky. And then, but I was like, okay, remember, it's 4 former women's world champions in a match together. And how often do you get to see Rhea and fucking Charlotte square off with each other? Keep in mind that WrestleMania 39, they had what is arguably for me the greatest women's wrestling match of all time. So I was extremely excited. But what did you guys think?
So I don't know why, but I lost track of time, so I didn't get to see the opener. I don't know why, but basing off what it sounds like that it's just like any other thing, like I don't know how to describe it, but two teams from the same team that are allies with I don't know how to describe it, but I think you kind of get, I don't know. It's hard to explain what I'm thinking, but yeah, I agree with Blood that um this these things with the multi-time women's champions being in the spots of a tag team champion in the tag team division does so much for the belt, because I remember whenever like uh what was it, Roxanne and Markel had it first, and everyone was saying that, oh my god, just get it off of them and like or retire the belts. But now since Alexa and Charlotte have held them, they are doing amazing. So I felt like giving them the people that were in the main event scene at one point and putting them in the tag scene did so much for the belts.
Oh, you are absolutely not wrong on that, Tox, at all. If I'm being completely honest, you are truly right on that. Having Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, two of the biggest world champions right now, former world champions, hold those tag titles, did wonders for those. And now we are going from, hey, get rid of them, to let's keep them around. Let's see what you can fully do with them. So this entire segment, I actually liked pretty much, except for what Blood said. I absolutely agree with that because he is right. They got screwed out of it by Lash Legend and Nia Jax screwing them over by attacking Alexa Bliss. And then Rhea came out and screamed War Games. So, Rhea, what the hell are you thinking? Because everything that you are saying here is completely contradictory to what actually happened. So, as much as I would love to see Rhea and Io with the tag titles, I do feel like the rematch clause itself does need to be enforced here a little bit. Let them have their rematch. Just let them go. But unfortunately, something bigger happened during that main event, but we'll get to that later.
Hell has frozen over, you guys. I can't remember the last time we've actually all agreed on something. I think that's what makes this show so crazy is like we never agree on anything. But yeah, that line Rhea Ripley said kind of stuck out to me too because she was like, you couldn't beat them back of the line. And I was like, wait a minute, that's not how that works. They lost the championships. They need to get a rematch as former champions, right? So I thought that was weird. But yeah, I'm glad you guys brought this up because I was going to make this point in the main event, but let's talk about that now. I mean, it's crazy to think about where the women's tag team division is now when you have all four of these women are former main event champions at some point in their careers. And now they're in the tag team division. And it's just like how crazy things have shifted, how their careers have shifted from being in the main event to the tag team division, and not in a bad way because the tag team division, remember thinking like a couple years ago, they were known as like the cursed titles, the cursed championships, because everyone that's held them was either getting injured or just having bad matches or it was just not interesting. And now we have Rhea, Io, Charlotte, Alexa, and then after seeing what went down in the main event, Liv Morgan is thrown in there, Bayley is thrown. So it's like the women's tag team division got fucking stacked out of nowhere, right?
I mean, this is what I was talking about during our Survivor Series review, where I said, thank God Liv Morgan has come back earlier than expected because you really felt her absence over the last 4.5 or so months. You felt her absence because the night she comes back on the main roster, fucking TV, like main roster Raw, the night she returns, she's putting over after the main event happens, Roxanne and Raquel holding the titles. Like there's a moment where Roxanne picks it up to kiss her ass and hands it to her. And she's like, no, 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 no. Oh, this is for you. You deserve to be champions with Raquel, because I think Liv's got her eyes on the world championship, but it speaks credence that in one night of her returning, you have got, think of all the people involved in this division now. And I'm going to tell you right now who the main eventers and champions, world champions in these scenarios are. Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Bayley, Asuka, freaking Rhea Ripley, Io goddamn Sky, Nia Jax. Okay? That's a lot of star caliber right there. And all of them are in the women's tag division in some form or fashion. Even though Liv is looking at the world title, she's still in the Judgment Day. Her teammates are vying, which means she will be involved in outcomes during their matches. And at the end of the day, you have to really look at how they turned this division around. Like legit, like what? Like they need to take some of the TLC they've done with this division and shove this shit in the women's United States Championship division, because I can see where they can see where they went wrong, and they are finally correcting it. I said this so many times ad nauseum in the last few months, where I said the smartest decision Triple H made in the women's division this entire year was pairing Charlotte with Alexa. And look how that has turned out. They have rehabilitated Charlotte in the eyes of the fans to where her hot tags are exploding the place. People are popping. They're cheering for her. This is awesome chance in the tag match with moments with her and Rhea. Like they had, like this has completely, and I genuinely think the one piece that had to be in place for this division to get back on track was them literally taking a chance on trying to pair Charlotte with Alexa to get Alexa to get Charlotte over as a face. That was the key that they needed, because you needed that star power, but they needed the fans to care. But they also needed to fix Charlotte after the Tiffany Stratton shit. And they did two birds with one stone, and it fucking worked, man. It worked. And this, in my opinion, this was the best shit on the show tonight. As far as like not Matt, like the best match in the show, Jay versus LA, tied with freaking Gunther versus Solo Sikoa. But goddamn, like as far as segments and pieces go, this was it tonight, man. They hit the fucking nail on the head.
Yeah, when it comes to the women's tag team division, yeah, for sure. And I'm kind of glad they didn't break up Charlotte and Alexa like I thought they would. I thought for sure Alexa Bliss was going to turn, but this makes more sense. So, yeah, that was the opening segment. Then we go to the back. We got to talk about this backstage segment because it's Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker with Adam Pearce. And of course, Adam Pearce is asking the right questions that we're all wondering. Who the hell was the masked man that jumped in the War Games, that attacked CM Punk, and that helped you guys win the match? Paul Heyman has been claiming he has no idea. Paul Heyman is guilty of a lot of things, and he's guilty of mostly everything except that. Paul Heyman does not know, according to him. And they want to talk to Adam Pearce about the guy that pinned CM Punk, their world heavyweight champion, Braun Breaker, and he wants his title shot. Very well deserved. And that's all we got so far to start off the big question of who that guy was. What do you guys think about that?
It was fine. Adam Pearce, had a couple of segments tonight where he's essentially launching an investigation privately, using one of the referees to kind of snuff out the clues, so to speak, as to who the hell was the masked man. Now, these are the parts of the shows where, like I said, good show, but there were parts of it that just did not connect, and this didn't connect with me because we didn't get the reveal. I think the reason for me that the finish to War Games, the men's anyway, felt so flat, because I had said that it felt like it was anticlimactic. And even Braun Breaker goes into his promo where he's like, I can't believe how easy it was to pin you, Punk. Like, I felt that way too. But at the same time, I think that War Games would have gone off without a hitch at the end, like crazy fucking pop had they just revealed who the fuck it was the moment he stomped fucking Punk and then did like a slow reveal, people thinking it's Seth, and then boom, it's like Austin Theory or somebody, which is what a lot of us want. And I think that's why this is a miss for me on this segment, because again, we're still left with more questions than answers. And now we've got to play the fucking guess who game. And it's like, dude, like, just come on. Like, why do we have to wait? Because you guys are all completely like acknowledging as the vision, as a group, that you had nothing to do with this shit. And then Braun Breaker in his promo later, which we'll get into, kind of shits all over the Masked Man idea, because he goes, he came in and basically stole my moment. So I'm like, okay, so is he on your side or isn't he? Because to me, it sounds like you're all pissed off at him. So I'm just like, well, I don't know what the direction is here for. And because they don't sound like they like that he helped them win, but they also don't sound like they had a problem, but then they're straight up acknowledging we had nothing to do with it. So I'm like, oh my fucking God, bro. Like, are you really going to take this long to give us answers? Please don't make us wait weeks for this shit. Fucking reveal this shit in the next week or the next two. I don't think this needs to be fucking held off. There's no other major PLE this year. There's no major event to fucking, do this reveal at, because God knows none of us want to wait till fucking Royal Rumble for the reveal. And I certainly don't think that you need to waste the reveal on Saturday night's main event. So before the end of the year, please.
I want to say that I think they'll do the review. My God, I think they'll do the reveal at the Raw on Netflix anniversary, because that's coming up. So
Is
yeah.
that when the match between Braun Breaker and CM Punk is going to be?
Yeah, Braun Breaker said it, or Paul Heyman. It's either one of them. They said that on the anniversary episode of Raw on Netflix, it'll be CM Punk versus Braun Breaker.
Yeah, I can see them doing it there.
Yeah. I also have. Hold on, I'm gonna say this after, but it's hard to not look at Paul Heyman and go, yeah, he totally had nothing to do with that, because it's Paul Heyman. He has everything that bad that happens that includes like a reveal or something, or like a mystery person, it's gonna be Paul Heyman's doing. That's just who he is. I also have 3 theories, no pun intended, on who the Masked Man is. I think it's either Austin Theory, Montez Ford, which I'm iffy about that one, or Trick Williams, which either of those could go really well for all of them.
Welcome to another episode of Who Done It on Monday Night Raw. That is what this shit is turned into. It is yet another Who Done It on Raw, just like with Jade Cargill and just like with a bunch of other people. For some bizarre reason, I've been hearing Buddy Matthews' name come up, but that ain't him.
Jesus.
And it was legitimately all because of an Instagram post where in the caption it says "reveal the vision." That wording means nothing at all. But the only thing that we know about all of this is that Seth Rollins was in the building at Survivor Series without the sling. That is the only thing we know about it. So obviously, I'm with what WWE docs say when it comes to he could not get up that quickly with the injury that he had. Plain and simple, he's not getting up on the top of that cage like a damn 20-year-old with the speed of that.
Plus, he just had surgery. He just had surgery, too. He's not climbing anything.
Exactly. It ain't Seth whatsoever. But honestly, I could see Trick. That would honestly be great as a call-up, especially since Lash Legend, his now fiance, has been called up. So there's that as well. But when it comes to all of this, I am still wondering who in the world it was. Odds are, my guess is still Theory, just because of the build and all of that. It just feels more like Austin Theory than anyone else. But honestly, this needs to be put out there within the next couple of weeks, because please don't do what the hell you did with Jade Cargill's reveal. Don't do that.
I didn't. I don't. Okay. I think. Okay, you guys are fucking driving me crazy. I think one of the reasons why I, I think it's a good idea to not give us who it is right away is because they already did it with R-Truth. They did it with Becky Lynch. And why do it again a third time? No, like I'm having fun with this. I'm having fun seeing the people react and it's this person. It's Buddy Matthews. No, the fuck, it's not Buddy Matthews. Oh, it's Chris Jericho. No, it's not Chris Jericho. It's 55 years old. He's not gonna climb a fucking cage. Like I'm having.
But he's not built like that.
He can't climb as fast as that guy did. That guy was fucking climbing like a cruiserweight. So that's another reason why I think it can't be Austin Theory, because I don't know. I don't think Austin Theory can move like that.
If you watch him in NXT, Austin does high flying shit often.
Maybe.
He can't move like that. Main roster bogged him down, but the boys got hops.
The only guy, the name that was running through my mind after watching this episode of Monday Night Raw, you guys are gonna think I'm fucking crazy. Is Grayson Waller? I was like, what if it's Grayson Waller? He joins the Vision, and that's Paul Heyman's fucking, random guy he decided to add to help him win. Like,
nah, I want Grayson Waller away from the New Day as much as the next guy, because I want them to give this man a fucking push on his own, because he's worth it. But nah, he is great as shape as Grayson has got in. When you go back over and over and you look at the footage of that guy's build, whoever it was had extremely broad shoulders, like the V-style torso, where it's big shoulders, perfectly angled down to a point, and he had very thick thighs through those jeans. That build is a very, very small list, that specific build. Austin Theory fits that fucking build. Randy Orton is a little larger, but fits that build. But Randy ain't climbing a cage like that fast at his age either. So it's got to either be Theory or somebody from NXT. I don't think it's I don't think it's anybody else that we could not be expecting. It just wouldn't make sense. There's no one I can think of that is that size, that quick, and could pull that off in that amount of time. But the physique is a dead giveaway that it is somebody with a bodybuilder style physique, very thick thighs, and at least moderately tall, around 6 to 6'2". And
that could move like a fucking cat.
And keep in mind, they would have to be young enough and agile enough to do so. And Austin's only like 28 to 31 years old. He's very young still.
I don't even think he's in his 30s yet.
Yeah, furthering my point, it's because Grayson's like 36. So I'm still hedging my bets on Austin Theory, and I'm going to hang my cap on it. I'm going to put this on, like Brock Lesnar put on Braun Breaker before he slipped and busted his ass, and I'm going to hang my hat on.
Well, 30 minutes into the show, and we have not talked about one wrestling match yet. And just like Monday Night Raw, it took like 30 minutes to get to the first wrestling match. Jey Uso versus LA Knight started off hot. The match was hot, and it ended hot. I was at the edge of my seat from the very beginning to the end, because Mr. Blood, I think the wrestling gods are hearing you, and I think it's gonna happen, man. Well, fuck. I mean, hopefully, But I was pulling for LA Knight just for you, Mr. Blood, this whole entire way. But it's Jay Uso, man. Main event Jay Uso. I think everyone was expecting Jay Uso to win, and it looked like that was gonna happen. But again, man, the fucking just everyone is just no selling their fucking finishers now. Jay Uso hits LA Knight with a fucking super kick, a spear, and a splash. And then LA Knight just fucking does a surprise roll up on Jay Uso and pins him 1, 2, 3 out of nowhere. I mean, I love the fact that LA Knight won, but like that, you're gonna like okay, I guess. And then of course, Jay Uso wasn't happy about that. And we saw him throw a little temper tantrum at the end of the match where he knocks over the steel steps, the prime bottles, and he throws a fit, which, the people are starting to talk and they're saying it's coming. The heel turn that we've all been waiting for from Jay Uso is coming. What did you guys think about all this?
For me, like I said, the show was good, but the matches tonight were all damn near standouts. I think that's a fair thing to say. There wasn't a bad match on the card. There wasn't a bad match at all. Every match had a full beginning, a full middle, a full end, and the crowd got behind every single match on the show tonight. All of them. This match was fucking awesome. For the back and forth that Jay Uso and LA had throughout the end of the summer this year, where, I mean, between those two and Punk and their whole hate triangle, I mean, it had its ups, its downs, its emotional rides. So going into this match, you're already invested because you've seen the interactions between these two for months. And they took a little break here during this tournament where they didn't interact for the last month or so. But when they came to this match, it was fresh again. You were like, oh my fucking God, bro. We love Jay. We love LA. A good amount of the crowd, most of the kids, they want to see Jay win. A lot of the others are like, it's LA Knight's moment. And so that makes for a great match, especially when you got to think it's babyface versus babyface dynamic. It's a very hard thing to do. And if you notice with the tournament tonight, we had same side dynamics for both tournament matches. Face versus face and heel versus heel dynamics. Generally, it's hard to get those matches over on either side because the crowd doesn't know who to root for. And you can kind of accidentally push one of them down by them getting cheered over someone else. And sometimes we've seen in the past, that'll halt a push for somebody. But these guys are so hot and so over, start to finish. The match was hard hitting. I mean, Jay went for a spear off the fucking bell. They beat the fucking shit out of each other, right? Everything was hard hitting, pulse pounding. You didn't know who's going to win. Great near falls. The roll up at the end, he hooked the arms and rolled him off the pin to jackknife cover him. Didn't bother me because I was so like, oh my fucking God, no, LA. And then he rolled him. I was so happy that he won. The roll up didn't bother me. Because we've known for weeks now, for months now, that the original reports were that Gunther's supposed to win this tournament and have Cena's last match. And I even said that I think that's why they had Dom take the title off of Cena at Survivor Series, was so they wouldn't relegate Gunther back to the mid-card if he beat Cena and he become an IC title holder again. They don't want to do that. So instead of having John Cena retain, they took it off in case they go with Gunther. I will say I am afraid of that exact same fact, though. Because LA won, and I do think, man, I'm so sad here. I think Gunther is winning. I think Gunther's winning, and I think he's beating Cena. And I think that's why they decided to take the title off of Cena at Survivor Series, so it wouldn't be a problem with the match at fucking Saturday night's main event. And I'm like, oh, LA got this close. And I can feel in the pit of my stomach, they're gonna have Gunther go over. And though I love Gunther, it's LA's time and he needs the win. He needs this more than Gunther could ever need it.
Oh boy, y'all are lucky that I haven't even gotten a chance to speak about what I think about Gunther absolutely speeding through this tournament on this podcast. Number one, I just hate the fact how you have these young talent that would benefit tremendously from beating Cena, like Javon Evans, Carmelo Hayes, Solo Sikoa. They would all benefit from beating John Cena, even though Solo has done it before. He would still benefit from it. And what do? You bury them. You feed them to Gunther. He doesn't need this. And they're going to do the same exact thing with LA Knight. It's LA Knight's time right now, and they're going to do the same exact thing. They're just going to feed him to Gunther. That's just why I don't like Gunther. I mean, he just rips the fun out of everything, in my opinion. But yeah, I totally see them screwing LA Knight over, and of course, the winner of the tournament's gonna have to beat Cena. I mean, Cena has to lose on his last match, right? Obviously. But if Gunther does win, then I don't want Gunther to win. So
I'm hoping he doesn't, but I am terrified that he might. Just because it's Gunther. And when it comes to LA Knight, it's his time. It really is. And why the hell, when it comes to this tournament, are you giving The Miz 2 different goddamn shots at this one tournament? Once, first round, when he lost to Jey Uso, and then last week when he lost to LA Knight. Why in the world are you giving The Miz, of all people, 2 shots at going up against John Cena and having him miss both? But I am terrified that this is going to end up being just a squash for Gunther completely.
What did you think about the match?
The match, I honestly was scared that it was going to be Jay, because I'm like, you had LA Knight, the only man out of this entire tournament to still have a unfinished story with Cena, go all the way to the semifinals and possibly lose. I was terrified of that. But his match with Jay, easily one of the best of the night. Easily. I do agree with Blood that it's probably tied with the other semifinal match because they're just that good. But when it comes to Knight moving on, I was shocked because I was almost spot for spot on with Jay winning it, with Jay moving on to the finale. And we end up before this match happened, I was thinking, great, this is going to end up Gunther versus Jey Uso once again, aren't we? Nope, that is not what we are getting, and I absolutely love that they went in a completely different direction with it.
Yeah, definitely. What about what happened with the Jay after the match? You guys didn't have any thoughts about that?
My thoughts are very quick to move on for the sake of time. I think I can speak for everybody here. I don't know about you, but the other two I know I can speak for. We don't want to see Jay turn heel. There's a lot of fucking mileage left out of his babyface run, but you can still book him as a tormented babyface where he's lost his self-confidence. He's doubting himself. And you really hearken into that. He said it when Jackie Redmond tried to talk to him. He straight up said, you know what? Maybe my cousin was right. Maybe Roman was right. The titles look the best when they're on his shoulders, not mine. And he seemed like he was fighting back tears. I'm afraid that's leading to crash out. That's leading to a heel turn Jay. And I don't want that. Maybe if you want to do a slight repackage of him, okay. But then you fucking dump all that prospective yeet money down the fucking toilet because the man is a merch fucking money machine. So you have to really weigh your options here. Do you turn him heel and then turn the kids against him, which is not going to help your bottom line with his sales? Or do you keep him a face, but you make him more interesting? And I think that's the line they're going to have to toe here. But I'm really hoping it's not a heel turn. I don't need that.
Yeah, one thing is for sure is if he does turn heel or if he turns into this, what did you call it, Mr. Blood? Tormented babyface is what you called it. There's not going to be a whole lot of yeeting going on, which I think there's probably a good amount of people that are going to be happy about that, especially after the response that Jey Uso got after yeeting in the middle of War Games. The people are like, man, enough with this yeeting stuff.
I saw a lot of people that actually loved it because they loved his reaction when Brock Lesnar's music hit. But when it comes down to it, look, the people can be sick of the eating all they want, but guys, y'all don't sign his paycheck, and you sure as shit don't see the check that clears for his merchandise sales for him and WWE. They will yeet that man till he's 90, and they'll squeeze every drop out of it. Fuck, who is it? Ron Simmons? To this day, every time he's on WWE TV, they just pop up to sell a damn t-shirt. Damn. Well, we'll see it. We'll see in 5 years. We just sold 300 damn shirts when the show went off the air. They make that man do it. He's in his 70s. They're gonna make Jay yeet till he's 90. I'm telling you.
All right, fair enough. All right, one of the segments I was looking forward to happened after this. We heard from the Judgment Day. We heard from Dirty Dom and Liv Morgan, and it was not what I expected at all whatsoever, because we were wondering, Liv Morgan's going to come back. She's not going to be happy to see Roxanne. She's not going to be happy to see what's been happening in the Judgment Day. And it was the complete opposite. Liv Morgan is happy to be back. She said that there's been things going on in the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day have been losing gold, looking weak. Didn't address Roxanne Perez being there at all. Liv Morgan is just happy to be back, and they're back to take control of all the gold and of Monday Night Raw. That was it.
This is the segment that almost turned me on the show. Because like I've said ad nauseum since this episode began, it was a good show that was so close to being great. And between the retcon bullshit they had Rhea say, this entire segment was a damn near retcon. And literally, Liv comes out. They Dominic sings everybody's praises one by one, thanking everybody and Jesus and the children and the fish. And then literally, he brings out Liv, who comes out to a massive pop because people really did miss her. That just tells you the WWE did a great job rehabilitating her character last year as well with the Revenge Tour. And she comes out and she says hi to everybody. Oh, I missed you. I missed you. And she says, she does acknowledge Roxanne. And this is where I almost fucking turned on the show. She goes, Finn and JD, I love you guys. I missed you guys. And Raquel and Roxanne, I missed you guys too. And I was like, hold up. The last time you were in a WWE ring before you went down and blew your shoulder out, you had a segment where you basically fucking lightly threatened Roxanne. Okay, in a backstage segment when you were sitting there with Raquel and you told her, no, stay out of our business, yada, this and that. And then you gave her a dirty look and left. And then the weeks leading up to that, it was you giving vague fucking threats to Roxanne for like a month. At what point did you establish this budding relationship to love and miss her on WWE TV and canon? That is a fucking retcon. And then the same thing at the end of the show when they interfere at the end of the main event. When Roxanne picks up the fucking tag title because Raquel's holding it and posing for hard cam, Roxanne picks it up, and instead of holding it up herself, She tries to kiss Liv's ass and graciously hand it off to Liv, who then takes this, no, this is yours. This is for you. And then raises both of their hands. I almost turned on the show because I thought, we waited 4.5 months for you to get back so we could break this fucking stable up after almost 4 years. And you're all loves, hearts, kisses, puppies, and Satan? Like, what is going on? No. This better be, and I'm hoping that it's WWE just going, we're gonna have her gain Roxanne's trust and then screw her over. Because she also slaps Dom and then jumps on him for a hug. And I'm hoping that's the first shot fired, like, you better fucking remember who I am. I helped, I didn't make you, but I did help remake you. So as far as it's concerned, this whole segment almost turned me on the show because it felt like a complete 180 from all the shit we knew from the very last episode she was even here. Fuck me, they better break this goddamn team up.
Not a lot of thoughts about the Judgment Day segment. Yes, I'm happy that Liv is back. I mean, the women's division really needs her, but I want to say the only reason she's keeping Roxanne around for now is because remember Liv said that the Judgment Day is going to like take everything that's theirs, that including the tag titles. And I mean, she can't go after the tag titles and the Women's World Championship. So why not have Roxanne there to partner up with Raquel? Which I mean, you could have Raquel go after the Women's Intercontinental Championship, but I think that it would just be the better idea to keep them two in the tag division, have Liv focus on the Women's World Championship. Uh, Finn and JD, I don't even know, probably the World Tag Team Championships, and then Dom, obviously the Intercontinental Championship. But it's just interesting where you can see all the different members of the Judgment Day going. I mean, and then like at one point, like they could be really close to breaking up, and then out of nowhere, Finn just turns on Dom, which that's what needs to happen. I feel like that just needs to happen because it's about time that it does happen.
Liv, we did not wait 4 months for you to come back only for you to kiss Roxanne's ass. Come on. When it comes to all of this, my thoughts on this are very, very simple. Liv, that smack had better been a warning because holy shit, Dom needs it because he is doing exactly what he did to Rhea, which is leaning towards the other woman a little bit more. But my biggest thing is this. This entire faction just needs to split. They really do. They need this so bad. All of them need to go their separate ways. Even though when Dom was tagging with Ray, he was struggling a little bit. But I think at this point, he can easily go on his own and still thrive like all hell. So at this point, split up the Judgment Day and make it for good. Because we do not need a third breakup only for them to randomly come back together and hint at a fourth time, then come back together and hint at a fifth time. We don't need that. It's getting repetitive at this point. Split the faction up.
You guys are
Especially when it
crazy.
comes to Roxanne and Liv.
You guys are all crazy. We don't need to see them break up. But it seems like Liv is the glue that the Judgment Day needed because they've been losing the championships, they've been having issues, they've been arguing with each other. Now Liv is back, and now it looks like they're all on the same page, but kind of like this thing that we've been seeing with the Masked Man, this storyline with Roxanne being involved in the Judgment Day and all that. I think they're just gonna, Long-term storytelling, bro. You know, they're gonna just drag it out as much as possible.
There is a difference,
And
my friend, between long-term storytelling and taking too long to tell a story. Remember that.
yeah, well, unlike you guys, I don't hate the Judgment Day. They're the best faction on Monday Night Raw. I mean, you have the Vision, but the Judgment Day has been around for so long. Like, I don't want to see them just disappear and break up and just that's it. They're over with. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't want it to just end like out of nowhere either. I want it to be emotional, epic, everything to this amazing crescendo because the team's been together for 4 years across 3 iterations. It's time. So get the ball rolling. Get these motherfuckers to make. I mean, if you got to get them to Mania or Elimination Chamber for the turn to break up and then have them blow off all their matches at Mania, do it. But like, please
I have a
get us
feeling
there.
that one of the main reasons why they're deciding to take a way longer route with this because if you break up the Judgment Day or if Liv Morgan comes back and then you get a Roxanne, then what are you gonna do with Roxanne? She's been great in the Judgment Day. She's
But
been
it's
getting
simple.
matches,
You're
getting
not breaking,
wins.
but you're not breaking them all up in such a sense. They're going to fraction. Raquel sides with Roxanne over Liv. They go into the women's tag division. JD and Finn, they get sick of Dom shit. They split off. They break off in the men's tag division. Dom stays in the singles division because now his rocket into the stars is been going. He's a made man at this point. Liv goes back off into the women's world championship division in the main event where she belongs. You basically add another team to the women's roster, so that gets thickened up in the tag division. You add another team in the men's tag division, that thickens it up without all the hijinks. And then you add another woman back into the main event women's team. All it does is just bolster all the divisions, but with people who have momentum coming out of the actual breakup story. So
Isn't that what they're doing now?
Yeah, only took 4 years to get here.
I mean, it looks like they're all going to be doing exactly just that, what you just said, but
exactly.
without.
But we're not talking about like breaking them up and what are they going to do? Well, you said what are they going to do with this person, that person? It's simple. Fraction the group, but Judgment Day itself is dead.
All right. All right. Speaking of dead, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, the tag team champions, defended versus the Judgment Day. And although this match ended up turning out to be way better than I expected,
The New
wasn't
Day.
expecting. What did I say?
Judgment Day.
God damn it. Okay. Yeah, they wrestled the Judgment Day. The tag team champions did. Thank you, Blood. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Great match. AJ Styles, Dragon Lee is crazy in the ring. But it's the New Day, man. I mean, I think it's safe to say a lot of us stopped caring for the New Day, unfortunately, a long time ago. So I wasn't really expecting too much out of this match. And AJ Styles and Dragon Lee won like we all expected.
Like I said, there is not a bad match on the show. This match started off, regular, tit for tat pace. But I'll be damned. I'll be goddamned if I don't sit here and say the New Day went out there, especially in the top half of this match, and fucking reminded you why they are the second longest reigning tag champions in WWE history and why they are certified future Hall of Famers. They went out there in what feels like forever since I've seen them wrestle and literally fucking went balls to the walls with AJ and Dragon Lee. This was a great match, hard hitting, super fast paced, great reversals, great counters. Kofi and Xavier were just on point tonight. For a moment, I forgot that I was sick of their heel characters because I was so goddamn just excited with what they were doing in the ring with AJ and Dragon Lee. And the finish, oh my fucking God, bro. Just getting Kofi on the ropes and then having Dragon Lee leg drop the bag of his head to where he flew through the air and got caught in the Styles Clash setup was the coolest shit I have seen in a WWE ring in a while. Do you have any idea the level of coordination, timing, and athleticism it takes to get that right the first fucking try? Because Kofi didn't just like lean his legs on to AJ. No, he slingshotted himself while upside down, reversed through the air, and was perfectly caught in position by AJ, who seamlessly went straight into a Styles Clash. That shit was an awesome finish. I have never seen that before in my life. It was so cool to have something so fresh into match that you could have been any run-of-the-mill tag match, but this wasn't. It was a title match, so it was balls to the walls, and all four men showed up, and I fucking loved it. I really did. It's the best thing the New Day has done in a year.
The I agree with everything that Blood said. I mean, it's just hard to explain. That's how good it was. I mean, there's just those matches that are so good that you can't even explain what you're feeling right now. That's just so good. That's the only thing that you can say. It's so good.
They truly did prove why between NXT and main roster, they have held so many tag titles throughout the year. They have full-blown proved why they have held that many. But when it comes to the match itself, that ending, chef's fucking kiss. Easily. It was so damn good. And when it comes to their next challengers, War Raiders are coming back next week. Let's go on that. I do love during a commercial break segment, Kofi's response, because overall, I completely get what he was saying. Because what he's saying is that the War Raiders got handed a title shot after not being here for the past 4 months. That is what the New Day said during that commercial break segment, was that they were handed a title shot after not being here since practically losing them. So there's that, and that's coming straight from Kofi Kingston.
Isn't that what happened with the New Day?
I'm
Didn't
pretty
they
sure,
get
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know, but according to Dragon Lee and AJ Styles, the War Games are deserving whatever. I don't know what their criteria is for that, but yeah, the other thing, it's like, okay, they're AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, they're having all these crazy matches. All right, cool. Next week they're gonna face the War Raiders. And it's like it just seems like they're just having random matches
No, it's not
every
random.
week.
They told us in the promo exactly why. They literally said to Adam Pearce, "We want to be fighting champions, and we want to give tag teams that deserve a shot." And the War Games never got their rematch, and they deserved one. That's exactly what they told Adam Pearce. They
Haven't been here in like months.
But
what makes the War Games, the War Raiders deserve a title match if they haven't been here in months?
The thing is, it's not actually months, because I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, guys, they were on TV a couple weeks ago. I remember seeing their entrance like last month. But the thing is regardless, they never got a title shot, and AJ and Dragon Lee are like, we're trying to bring the division up by giving deserving teams a chance, and they deserved a rematch, which they never received. So it does make sense that the baby faces are like, no, we want to give the baby faces a chance, because the War Raiders are
right.
baby faces.
Right. So we're gonna see
somehow.
So we're gonna see that next week, but I haven't really been feeling this tag team title reign. Yeah, they're fighting champions, great, but I want to see them feud versus somebody. I want to see, like, I don't know, them to get in a program with someone. And I guess because it's a tag team division, this is just like the mid card, you know, where they just have cool looking matches and, you know,
I think
that's
it's
it.
more of
But
I think it's more of WWE might be listening to the fans and realizing that we have had the same bullshit with the fucking tag division on SmackDown for so long this year that they're trying to do what they're doing with the US title where it's kind of an open challenge thing. Instead of it being like an open challenge, the champions are just like, we're gonna have a match every fucking week and just make these titles matter. And I think that's their approach, trying to rehabilitate the tag scene on Raw by having AJ and Dragon just fucking defend until those titles mean something and the audience is looking forward to seeing those matches. And I think it's a smart tactic to get people back on board with the tag division because it has sucked all year.
yeah, I mean, when Charlotte and Alexa had them, they weren't just defending and defending it all the fucking time versus just about anybody.
No, but the men's division has been. I'm specifically talking about the men's division has been
Right.
horrible.
No,
The
I'm just
women's
making that comparison because that just having matches every week versus random tag teams, I don't know, that doesn't really do it for me.
I think it's also because they're just trying to give us as much AJ as possible because he's done next year. It could be that too.
Yeah. We can't see you, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
You can't see me. I'm staring at all four of us.
No, your screen is black.
Yeah, it's black for me too.
Really? Hello?
All right.
Can you see me?
No.
Okay. I'll leave and come back.
All right. We got to go talk about the Vision. Paul Heyman came out with Logan Paul, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. And, you know, Paul Heyman does what he usually does. He puts his guys over, he gives the shout outs, and he says something interesting about Logan Paul. That was one of the big questions coming out of Survivor Series. Is Logan Paul going to continue with the Vision? And again, Paul Heyman is like the biggest tease in pro wrestling when it comes to like giving the worst answers in the best way possible. Paul Heyman, when it was time to put over Logan Paul, he said, the guy that perfectly fits my vision moving forward or something like that, without actually saying Logan Paul is officially part of the Vision, which, you know, to me, it looks like that's what's happening here because the Survivor Series is over. War Games is done, but Logan Paul is still hanging out with them. And then we go to the announcement that Braun Breaker is, in fact, going to get a title match versus CM Punk, I believe, January 5th. World Heavyweight Championship. So Braun Breaker cuts a promo on Punk. And Braun Breaker, it was kind of hit or miss for me. I didn't completely hate the promo, but there were some moments in the promo where I felt like, okay, he's either making sure that he's trying to hit his lines and he forgot, and he just like went to, I'm just going to crash out because that's what I do best. And the whole entire time I was just like, man, like I felt kind of bad for him, man, because I feel like Braun Breaker would be better if he just was able to say whatever he wanted. Because it felt like he was kind of struggling in this promo. But what did you guys think about this segment?
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought it might be the best promo he's actually ever cut on main roster TV. The moment he stopped trying to hit the script, he fucking knocked it out of the park. The only weird thing about Braun Breaker cutting promos that you see the massive man that he is, the muscles, the intensity, the ferocity, the twitching. Then he opens his mouth and you hear his voice. Not the words, but his voice. It's the Brock Lesnar syndrome, right? Big bad bully in the yard who looks like he could wreck anybody in his wake, The moment he opens his mouth, it's like, "Hi, I'm Paul." Like, like it's like the voice doesn't match the ferocity of the body that you're seeing. Like, I mean, it's just one of those weird conundrums where if his voice was a little deeper, I think that his promos would hit so much harder for people. Because honestly, it was the same issue that Scott Steiner had. People were like more amused by Scott Steiner than intimidated because his promos were wacky. His voice was too high pitched to be taken seriously. And Braun has the same problem Brock does. He gets angry and then he shrieks. He screams but his voice cracks into a shriek. And you're like, oh my fucking God. Like, you remember that famous meme of Brock Lesnar where he goes, ah! It's just like his voice cracks. It's the same thing with Braun Breaker. But I liked what Braun Breaker said here. Braun Breaker's words, despite his tone, he cut a very scathing promo on Punk. I think he said some very, very cool one-liners. The intensity was great. The shirt came off, and he fucking stormed out of the ring without even waiting for his crew, which I think was probably going off script, calling an audible for him to kind of, psych himself up. And I agree with you, Edgar, where I think that he went from, okay, these are my lines, hit my points, to this ain't. I don't think he forgot his lines. I think he felt like it wasn't working. And he needed to go a step higher. So he said, fuck it. I'm going to psych myself up, spike my own adrenaline on purpose, actually get myself worked up, and then I'm going to fucking do it this way. And it fucking worked, because some guys, the script just doesn't work for. Some guys need to be off the cuff. Some guys need to be off the leash. They do their best work when they're not being handicapped by the words written down by somebody else. And I think that this was a great way to start the build between these two for January 5th on Netflix. So I'm here for it.
Just for the sake of time, I'm gonna be quick on this. I'm excited for Braun versus Punk, but sadly, I don't have Braun winning. I think that the masked man is going to stomp Punk again and cause a disqualification, and then we'll get the reveal. So yeah.
I have noticed that as of recently, and I told Toxic this while we were watching Survivor Series, that as of recently, they have not been saying the Vision, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. No, they have been saying as of recently the Vision, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar, as in Logan was part of the group this entire time. So I have noticed that. So Logan being part of the group itself doesn't surprise me much. What surprises me is the fact that there was no mention of Drew McIntyre tonight from Paul Heyman. Absolutely.
Yes, there was. Yes, there was.
He absolutely thanked him. He literally said, Drew McIntyre, a pleasure doing business with you, sir.
Oh, yeah, and that was it. So I completely forgot that one-liner. So honestly, Logan being in the group, I'm all for it, because at this point, they needed somebody with speed that isn't just Braun Breaker. Because Bronson doesn't really have much to him. He's got strength and he's got size. He's definitely got size. But shut up, Toxic. But when it comes to Logan, he's quick. He's a high flyer, which is honestly what every good succeeding faction needs. Is they need every bit of the puzzle, including the high flying stuff.
I will say it does fit reports that Logan Paul was apparently going to be putting more of his time in the near future into WWE. So if he is in fact an actual member of this group, that tells me we're going to see him on TV a lot more consistently, and I think that's a good thing. I just feel bad for him because the man lives in Puerto Rico, but that's a lot of plane travel. But if it helps the group, his star power puts attention on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, I see no downside to that.
Yeah, dude. And with all this mention about Seth Rollins walking around without his sling, what if that's when Seth Rollins comes back and costs Braun Breaker the championship January 5th? I mean, it's a little bit over a month away. Do you guys think it's possible to see Seth Rollins back that soon?
I mean, look, he can't take any bumps probably because he had already said in an interview when he was on some morning show with Becky and they were eating food and doing a promo last week or the week before doing an interview. He said, right now I'm excited. You know, I can eat whatever the hell I want for the next like 2 months. And then I go into rehab like literally right before Mania. And that's going to take like, 3 to 4 months or whatever. So he's already confirmed that he will miss Mania. He said it on the interview because he gave us a timeline of his recovery because he was super excited that he could eat all the carbs he wanted for the next many, many weeks. However, that doesn't mean he can't come in, stomp someone, and then come out because jumping on someone's head doesn't require your arms or your shoulder. So he could just do a one-off, get the fuck out of Dodge, fuck you, hop in the car and go home. So
yeah, because something's got to give, man. I don't think Braun Breaker's going to win next month,
no, and there's no way they're going to have him lose clean to Punk and kill his momentum like that.
And I've also seen reports that they're supposed to they're planning their match at WrestleMania, Punk versus Braun Breaker, also. So something's got to give.
It would be even better because it was Braun Breaker that started that whole revenge thing. Not revenge, but the turn on Seth. It was Braun that struck Seth. So
yeah,
there could be his motivation to screw him over right there.
Something is crazy is going to happen on that January 5th match, but we'll see what happens there. Solo Sikoa versus Gunther, the second semifinal match for the John Cena tournament. And when was the last time we've seen Solo Sikoa have a fucking match like this, like the one that he had with Gunther? Because goddamn.
I'm going to keep it a buck for the sake of time. This was it was my favorite match of the night for me personally because of how shocked I was at how much they let Solo get in this match as far as offense on Gunther. I couldn't believe that they let Solo get this much. They actually almost let Solo have Gunther's number. I thought that was crazy. I was like, the dude has been shucking and jiving on SmackDown and couldn't buy a win when he was IC or a US champion this year. That Solo, you let go almost fucking, what was it, like 16 minutes with fucking Gunther? And it was competitive. And Solo actually had a lot of the control for the majority of the match on Gunther. I was like, yo, where the fuck was this Solo? All spring and summer. This shit was great. It was awesome. I couldn't believe it. And by the way, it should speak volumes to Solo that Gunther had to cheat to win, because Gunther might be a heel, but he has never been a chicken shit heel, and he has never cheated in his matches. He literally wins by outsmarting opponents. He doesn't cheat. He just actually literally wins his matches straight up. Most of his victories are clean. So the fact that he fucking kicked Tala Tonga straight in the fucking the bloodlines, and then got in the ring with Solo and said, you know what? The ref's tracking? Fuck it. Turnabout's fair play, motherfucker. Take these size 14s. Bam! Right in Solo's fucking bloodlines. And literally got a power bomb the shit out of him, because I wasn't sure if he was going to get him up for the power bomb. Clean as fuck. 1, 2, 3. That speaks volumes to Solo, that Solo was that much of a problem for Gunther, that Gunther actually had to resort to cheating to win. I thought awesome fucking match. Keep giving Solo shit like this, and you will rehabilitate him, please. Because the crowd, heel versus heel dynamics don't normally work for a reason. and the crowd was eating this shit up. They were cheering for both of these guys. That right there is an impressive feat, and I hope those guys got a major round of applause when they got to Gorilla afterwards, because fuck me, man, they deserve the shit out of it.
Just something real quick, also for the sake of time. Notice how the three brothers, Jay, Jimmy, and Solo, have either come close to beating Gunther or have beaten Gunther. That just says something that they're going places, even though that Jimmy and Jay have been places. But Solo needed this win over Gunther. I'm kind of mad that he didn't win.
Match itself, great. That's one way to take out a 7 foot tall man. That's definitely one way to do it. Just kick him right in the coconuts. But like Blood said, this has to speak volumes of the fact that Solo Sikoa was the first man to get this man to cheat in a match. Plain and simple. So we are now getting a man that we want to win in LA Knight going head to head against Gunther. That is our finals for Friday. So this match in itself, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I also love this match too, man. Gunther won. Obviously, he's advancing. He's going to be facing LA Knight in the finals, but Solo, I still love you, Solo. You look great in this match, man. The main event, Rhea, Io wrestled Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. And yeah, this match had it all. Top stars, good spots, bad spots, and shenanigans. The Kabuki Warriors rushed in. They ruined the match. We didn't get an actual winner, which usually when they do that, it could only lead to one thing. And I was thinking, oh my god, no. A triple threat tag team match. I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. But then more and more people came out. Fucking the Judgment Day came out. Liv Morgan came out. Roxanne, Raquel, Bailey, Lyra, and everyone was beating the crap out of each other here in this main event. And it was a crazy way to close out Monday Night Raw. But what you guys think?
Really, really fun. I love it when WWE decides to take a break sometimes from the same rigmarole every week. You know, the same open, the same match ender like we were getting with the Vision for, God, since almost WrestleMania. Almost every fucking week since WrestleMania in some form or fashion. They start the show, they end the show surrounds them. And again, this speaks volumes to the absence of Liv Morgan having such an impact. And in one night, she reinvigorates everything because the match itself was awesome. It was a lot of fun. A great match. I would like to highlight it got This Is Awesome chants. And on top of that, there is something so special when there are two wrestlers that just have an unbelievable chemistry that the fans just clamor for it. Charlotte and Rhea, face to face, when they both tagged in, they stared across the fucking ring at each other without going for a move. And the place came alive. And when they were face to face, they went a good 2.5, 3 minute sequence of just back and forth, beating the fuck out of each other, hit the ground. The crowd erupted for it. This match was awesome. I wish it had a finish because I really wanted to see who would have won between these teams because everybody showed up here. There was only one specific botch in the whole match, and it was just Charlotte accidentally over-rotating when Rhea tried to get up for the Razor's Edge. That was the only fuck up of the match. Afterwards, everybody and the grandmama runs in. What I liked about the Judgment Day girls is that they didn't just attack the baby faces. They went for everyone. The heels too. They attacked Kyrie. They attacked Asuka. They attacked anybody that was standing to say that we are the threat. We are the dominant women of this division. And the show goes off the air with a returning Liv, reminding you why you missed her in the first place, because she spices this shit up And then she raises the hands of these two other women and goes, oh yeah, we're coming for it all. I loved it because it's something different. It's after 4.5 months of not having Liv, it felt fresh. And you can, in my personal opinion, you can take Bailey and Lyra right out of it. I don't need them here, but they're here, so it's fine. The more the motherfucking merrier. But as far as it's concerned, man, I was all for it. I loved it. Top to bottom, I loved every match on the show tonight. I really did. Some of the segments are what almost turned me on it because they felt like two segments that did complete retcons right in front of our faces. Like it felt like WWE was insulting our intelligence. But other than that, great Raw.
Not a lot. I just see one massive ladder match coming out of this. I don't know why. I just do.
Oh God.
You're not wrong, unfortunately, with the fact that there are 5 teams now who have come out and really wanted these titles. It's great how the moment Liv comes back, not 48 hours after Liv's return, all of a sudden the women's tag division sparks like a light. Because that's what we've got. That's exactly what happens. Honestly, when it comes to Charlotte and that match, absolutely loved it. I honestly like how it ended in a disqualification because that was a great retcon. No, well, not retcon, my brain, but still, that was still a great ending to it. Liv holding up Roxanne and Raquel's hands with the titles in them truly showed how dangerous this is going to end up being when it comes to the Judgment Day. But like I said, Liv comes back 48 hours later. Women's division is thriving like it hasn't for the past 4 months.
Boy, has it, man. What a fucking crazy change in that women's tag team division that we're seeing now. But yeah, man, that was Monday Night Raw, the Raw after Survivor Series War Games. Some questions have been answered, some have not. But we'll see what happens on SmackDown. We're gonna find out who the final opponent is going to be for John Cena this week, and then we got the John Cena's final match in a couple weeks, and oh my God, it's crunch time, y'all. But yeah, man, we'll be back again later this week with some more clips and episodes and a whole bunch of cool shit. Until next time, you guys, that was the Monday Night Raw review with the Snug Wrestling Crew. Let's go.
Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Snug Wrestling. Thanks for kicking it with us as always. If you guys love it, you can hang out with us every Monday night and Friday night after Raw and SmackDown go off the air respectively on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook for all of that. And if you love bonus reaction content, look at all the channels as the shows are actually happening for live reaction content. Then remember to kick it with us every Thursday night on TikTok Live at 9 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Pacific, where myself, Mr. Blood, and the head of Snug Wrestling, Edgar, that handsome Mexican over there, do our one-on-ones on TikTok Live. And by the way, mark your calendars, because not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, we will be doing our predictions for Saturday night's main event on December 13th for John Cena's final ever match. So those predictions will come at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on Apple and Spotify, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, right before that weekend's show. And if you guys want to support the channel, please remember to head over to our tpublic.com/Snug Wrestling, where we have over 40 brand new, amazing designs inspired by yours truly and Edgar and WWE. Here's some merch they're holding up if you're watching this live. We have over 43 designs. You can get them on shirts, hoodies, backpacks, totes, claws, stickers, magnets, your mama's ass, you name it. And everything is on a Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale. So if you want 40% off any Snug Wrestling merch, head over again to tpublic.com/Snug Wrestling or click on any of the links in any of our bios on any of our socials, including Apple and Spotify, and get over there and support Snug Wrestling. Now, boys, I think because we're all here tonight, I said that was one time for the one time, motherfuckers. I said that was
4 letters. 1 word.
Yes.
Yes.